Okay, so we're back now, and I did 2 coats on all the faces of the cabinets here. And again, this is a pearl sheen, so you can see the sheen there. So I'm gonna open this up right now, and you can see where I had caulked and where the caulk has sat. So wherever the caulk has sat, that's the width of the gap that was there before I caulked. And once again, you definitely want to caulk before you start to paint, or else it'll take two coats to cover. But I'm glad that I caulked this here, because the caulk is white and the door is brownish red, so you can actually see where the caulk lies, and you can see how the caulk fills in any of the divots and whatnot, and just recreates a smooth surface again. So I'm just going to, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint the rest of this white right here, and I've been using my 2.5 inch brush for that, and for the corners I've been using this 1 inch brush here. So I have my paint here, and I'm just going to dip it in like that there, and I'm going to come here in the corner and pull across there. Now come back and try to go as far into the corner as I can there, and pull across there. Now on the first coat, it's kind of hard to pull across in a straight line, so another technique to do is flatten out all of the bristles so that you get the brush to be perfectly flat, and then come up and work it up and then come down. And that's going to effectively put the paint up there. And then on the second coat, what you can do is pull across from the top, because sometimes it's hard to get the paint to stick. So that takes care of that there. Now I'm going to work that into the corner there. Or after you do those, then come across it, and that's going to fan out any of the lines that were incurred when I did that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the inside of this lip right here. So I don't have a lot of paint that's on my brush right now, so I'm just going to come into it and just do a series of these motions right here. And that's going to effectively leave the paint on that 1/4 inch return there of the wood, and not to get the paint on like the insides. So I'm going to load up here, and that has just like a little bit of paint right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work our way in here. So there's the jam there, and I just load up the brush right here. So a safe place to put it is right here. So that's going to get rid of a lot of the paint right there. And then I'm going to come up here and work it into the corner there, and work it around that edge. And with the tip, I'm going to push it into this area here. And again, this is just like a latex paint, so if you get any of the latex paint on the hinge, just wait for it to dry and just use like your thumbnail or a tool to remove it, and it'll come right off too. So I'm going to work the bristles as far back right here to get into this jam here, and feather and fan that out there. Okay, now I'm gonna, I have just like a little bit of paint, and I'm gonna load that back up, and we're gonna hit this right here. And again, I'm coming into it, and that's gonna effectively leave it just on that right angle edge there. Okay, and I'm gonna turn the brush around here and come into the corner. I'm gonna get down, and now we're gonna work on getting the paint into this area here. So I stick the tip of the bristles in there, and just kind of work it around to get that in there. Okay, and we'll just clean these edges off here like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint this right here. Now with these flats, what I do is I just get the paint on there, and then I'm going to use the roller at the end to roll that off. But before I do that, I'm just going to hit the inside of this edge right here. Okay, and then just go around and fan that all up there so it covers. Okay, and then I'll reload back up and come down here and spread it like that and work it as far into the corner there as possible. Now this is still wet, so I kind of want to hurry up with this so that it doesn't dry. But I'm just going to hit this top ledge here and then turn the brush around and work it into the corner there, and then just come around and clean this up here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down right here and grab my roller, and my roller doesn't really have a lot of paint on it, so I'm just going to roll out these flats right here. So again, you don't get any of the brush strokes, and again, it'll dry as a uniform sheen. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here, and now I'm going to grab my 1-inch brush. Now, it's always safe, or it's safer when you do the cabinets to leave something that protrudes out so it hits the inside of this, so the door doesn't shut completely and it doesn't stick to this. So we're going to do that right there. And with my 1-inch brush, I'm going to load up here and kind of work it, and then I'm going to come up here and paint this here. So we're just going to drag that down there and go back up. Now I don't have a lot of paint that's on my brush right now because I don't want to make a mess here. So I'm just kind of just going to work the bristles in there, up there. Now with these tight spaces, you'll probably need to do at least 3 coats for it to properly cover. And just work this down, come down here, go up with it, and then I'll go all the way up with it here just to clean that up there. So now I'll just load up a little bit of paint there and come here and work it up in there, turn the brush around. And I was just trying to, you can see how I'm working the tip into those places there, and I'm gonna take care of that. Now again, if you do get any paint onto the hinge, just let it dry. I did get a little bit like right there. It's kind of hard to see, but we're just gonna let it dry, and then after that, just use like your fingernail there. So when I open up now, I'm gonna look to see if I missed anything, and as you can see, I hit every area. It's not perfectly covered. It will take 1 or 2 more coats, but now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put this down right here, and we're going to apply the second coat onto this right here. Now, since I caulked in between coats, I'm gonna probably have to do a 3rd coat just so that the white doesn't peer through this brownish red. But just for the film's sake, this is the 2nd coat here. So I'm gonna load up here and drag it where I caulked, because that is still like an edge there. Okay, and then come across down here, reload here. So you want to paint these edges first. And again, since I caulked now, it's all going to look like it's one piece. So that takes care of that there. Now I'm going to cut around these 2 hinges. So I just loaded up, and I don't want to put all that paint there. So I'm going to get rid of the excess paint there. Come down here, just work the brush into that edge there. Turn it around there. come up here and work it down and kind of just clean and fan these areas out right there. Or now there's paint there, so I can go back into that, bring that up there, bring it to the side, and then up with it. Now, it's a good idea to brush out the corners too, because that comes to a 45 and there's a lot of times there's a gap, and it's better to use the bristles to fill that gap rather than the roller. So we have it just like that. I'm going to put this down, and once again I'm going to grab my 4" by 1/4" nap roller, and I'm going to put a lot of paint on there. Okay, and again I'm going to transfer the paint to the middle and then spread it out without going into the corners yet. Okay, so I have it spread out. Now I'm just going to work it to like the corners here. And now I'm going to reload it again. And now this should be enough paint for the whole thing now. So I'm going to go into the corners and at the edges here. And I'm just going to go up and down now. Up, down. And now I want to come as close to the hinge as possible there. Come up and as close to it, and then come down here. And the same with the bottom here. And then go up there. And with the sides here, you can just do that with the sides. And that's going to effectively just leave it on that side. It's not going to get a lot or any paint that's on that side right there. And we'll do the bottom part too there. Okay, so this right here has 2 coats, and it basically covered up all of the white caulk too. So that takes care of that right there. Now I'm going to put this down here, and we're just going to come over here, and we're going to use my 1" brush to paint this area here. So I'm going to use my left hand here. I have a lot of paint there, so I'll start by coming down the middle with it, and then go back up with it. And just work it into the sides there. Okay, now I'll switch hands, and there's still paint that's up there. So I'll grab it like that and just work the bristles in around that area there. And fan this down there. Cut around that right there. Okay, now I'm going to fan this whole thing off here by going up and then down. And with the top, you just go up and down and then hit that right there. Okay, so I'm gonna there's no paint on this, so I'm gonna reload this here, and I'm just gonna put like a little bit of paint on here, and I'm gonna bring this over here, work it up, then come down. Now I'm gonna open this up to give me a little area here so I can slide the brush behind the door there, and then come up, and I'm twisting the brush there, then I'm going down, and I'll come back into it, go down, and then lift off there, and we'll just feather that off there. So again, that is just 1 coat, and with those tight spaces, you're gonna probably have to do at least three coats to cover it, especially on top of white, right there. So these are just some tips and techniques on how to paint your kitchen cabinets without having to take down the doors. It is a good idea to take them down, but again, it requires space. But if you have the time and the space to do it, then I recommend doing that. But if you have the hinges where there's enough space to get in there with a little brush like this, or even a artist brush, then you can leave them up if you're just using a latex paint, because if you do get any paint on it, you can just use like your nail to scratch that off there. So I hope that you enjoyed this set of videos, and I'll see you on the next one.